Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm exhausted already. This episode is brutal. There's so much going on. Everything is changing dramatically for everyone. I can't, Dave. I hope you got something big planned for when you go to meet a Katarina, because you know that the way this episode is going, it's going to be out of control. So
I don't know. I'd probably have to kill her, I guess.
yeah, probably. Yeah, you'll get there, and
with my hands.
it's just not going to go good. Oof. Okay, so let's figure out the fate of our dear Joy here. So, you throw the knife. You miss. She leaps from her chair.
As soon as I turn into the corridor, I want to circle Soren.
Okay, so you have to get away from her first.
Okay, well I can't do that because my stride is less than her. Because
Yeah,
I'm
so you can make an opposed like what's it called, speed test.
Okay.
Just to get distance. So if she succeeds, basically she runs and like knocks you to the ground. That's her plan. She doesn't want to just stab you in the back. She wants to like knock you down and then she'll kill you. So she wants to basically get you at her mercy before she deals. She's not going to stab you in the back because she's got some honor. So she's going to run and try to catch you. You're going to try to get away. If you succeed, then you get some distance from her. If you fail, then she grabs you and then you have to do something else. And that's when you can circle someone to save you.
Sure.
Emilio shoots with a crossbow. I mean, that could very easily be a thing. You could circle anybody that you have a connection to. It would just be very difficult to have Emilio in the castle. But, okay, all right. So let me take a look at what it's gonna be here.
I have a speed stat of 3.
Yeah, what does lame do? Because this is where it actually matters.
It reduces my stride by 1.
Okay.
Which I think in this case is enough to merit an advantage die for the opponent or an increased
that's
off.
that's what I'm gonna check.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if there's anything for like chases particularly. Let's see. So much action. We've never used any of these like chasing, fighting, sword rules.
I've thrown us
there it
into
is. Chases on
rules
531. Thank you, Burning Wheel headquarters. Okay, advantage in the chase. It's a versus speed test. It's a single test to resolve a running away from you conflict. Okay, so it's 1 die advantage for higher reflexes. What's your reflexes?
My reflexes?
Yeah. Again, this is a stat that really only ever gets used in fighting. So
where is that?
what stat is
reflexes
this?
is one of the derived
armor
ones
class?
also.
Okay, I don't even have
on your sheet. Down by
it's above your mortal wound and down below your hesitation.
Oh yeah, mine's
Oh, it's in combat, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
it's on the regular page underneath health, steel, hesitation, and then reflexes.
Yeah, like it's not a full
reflexes
rollable
is
stat.
4. Yeah. Okay, so I think you're probably tied. I don't think that she has any reason to have like especially high reflexes.
Okay.
She has a longer stride. What's your fort?
My fort is 3.
Okay. All right. So I think she's got two advantage dice over you. Okay.
Can Joy have an advantage because she knows the paths of the castle better than this strange lady who just came here?
It's not the castle, it's your house.
Oh, sorry. I meant that.
So no, she doesn't.
Oh.
Because she's only been here like a little while,
That's
right?
true.
And she was gone for a big chunk of that time. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, and so if the pursuer wins, she'll get an opportunity to do something at a +2 ob disadvantage. And if you win, you get away. So chances are bad that you're gonna get away, but yeah. Okay. So I'll just roll. Yeah, there is an advantage die for like a head start, but it's not a big enough head start. This is like you're only like a couple of meters away from her, so you're like limping away as she chases you. So her speed, I'm just looking for like, because I don't have her like fully burned up, so I'm looking for something that she's like approximate. I'll say B4 for her speed. Okay, so her roll is 4 plus her 2 extra dice. She got 1, 2, 3 successes.
Okay, let's see if I can get 3 successes with the opposed speed test of getting all successes. Let's find out.
Okay.
No modifiers. No Artha, because I need to save that persona for if I get stabbed to death. Base ob 3. No.
Okay, so she runs up behind you, like not so fast, and takes a swing at you with her sword. So this isn't. She's not gonna be able to just stab you in the back. This is just to like, hey, come here. I'm gonna stab you once, and then after that, you can. That's when you can make your like other roll depending on what happens to you. So she's gonna make a sword test at +2 ob. It's base ob 2 to just hit you, so she's at 4 ob. And for sword, let's see. She's got a sword of, let's say 3, and then maybe like 2 forks. I think that's reasonable. So ob 4, 5d6. Not likely she's gonna get you. But let's see how I roll. 1, 2, 3. Whew, it's pretty close. I'm gonna
re-roll that 6, Adam?
6.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna take an incidental wound from her. So you
Okay.
feel the sharp bite of the sword, like probably in the back, like your back shoulder, because she tries to grab you with her left arm. You slip away, and she takes a swing at you, and it doesn't. It's just the tip of the blade that like slashes across your back, so it probably hits you in the right shoulder, and then kind of like goes down. Doesn't bite too hard.
Okay, what kind of wound is this?
An incidental wound from an arming sword. This is a B4 wound.
Okay.
So for Joy, a B4 wound
It's
is
a light hit.
light. Okay. So that does, it's a -1 die.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so you need to make a steel test.
Okay.
What's funny is that steel test, even if you fail, you can still roll like something that isn't you acting. It's the one way in which circles is kind of funny. Okay, so you take the wound and then make a steel test, and the ob is, I think, just your hesitation.
Yeah, which is like how much less than 10 you are, right?
Yeah, it's your will. It's 10 minus your will. It's on your sheet. It'll auto calculate.
Oh, okay.
I like too that other people get involved in violence, and you get involved in these like just awkward, terrible running around, slipping and falling, like stabbing scenes.
I don't actually think I can
He
succeed on
throws
this
his
skill
crossbow
test.
at you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, you can still roll circles.
Fucking what?
Okay. So what do you want to? I guess the question is, what do you do when you fail your steel test? Do you stand and drool? Do you
I
beg for
run.
mercy? What are your
Bro,
other
I
options?
run away. I fucking scream and run.
Right, run screaming.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that'll be the same test as before.
Don't forget she gets an opportunity to tell you didn't disengage.
Fuck you, Dave.
Wait, does Elf have the chance to roll circles now?
Not if you run. If you run, it's like you're fleeing. I think if you choose to like stand and drool or like fall prone and beg for mercy, then you could ostensibly circles up someone to save you.
Okay, well,
But
I'm
if you
not gonna
fail
get
that circles
away.
test, then it's a gamble.
I'm not gonna get away, so fuck
Right.
it.
So
Yeah,
you
okay.
feel the sharp bite of the sword in your back suddenly like just like shoot through your body.
I drop to my knees and I'm like, please don't kill me! And
Ishi
then
comes out.
try and roll a fucking circle.
Okay, so you fall to your knees and like are begging for mercy, like grabbing at her boots.
I grovel, cower, and beg, please, Adam.
And she stares down at you, holding her sword. And then you want to now the only just for the rules, if Joy wanted to do anything else, like persuade her not to kill her or whatever, she would have to wait five heartbeats for that. In which case, I would be like, cool, she shoves her sword through your face.
Yeah.
But circles isn't the character acting. Like your steel doesn't matter. This is you as a player saying, I would like to introduce a character into the scene to come and rescue my ass.
That's my plan.
Yeah, totally. And
Where's my Bay Soren?
Okay, so Soren, describe what you want, Soren. What is the situation here? You just want him to like come around the corner?
I want him to be close enough to intervene, like he comes out of a room or like, you know.
I love that you're just gambling on the fact that he'll save you.
I'm just going like he saved me once. Let's fucking see. And that's it.
God, it's so cold. Okay. All right. So let's have you make the circles test. I gotta find the rules for this. Jesus, this is a significant test. So
Yeah, all my tests have been significant and failures.
seriously, okay. So it's base ob 1. He is higher rank, station, or class, so that's ob 3. I think the time and place, like this is unusual for him just to show up in the middle of this thing. I think that's pretty. So let's say it's a circles 4, ob 4 circles test.
Sweet, I have 4 circles. Let's fucking go.
Okay.
Do you have any
Save that
reputation?
persona.
No, I'm gonna spend it right now,
Oh,
Adam. That
no,
seems like
don't
a
do it.
great fucking idea.
Do you have any reputations that can?
No, I have nothing. I have nothing. I have nothing.
I mean, this is the place
this.
that he would be.
You got this.
It is, yeah. That's why it's not
like,
higher
it's
than
during,
this.
It's during the daytime, and some like.
Oh yeah,
Joyce
you do the
is,
extra
like,
die for circles you
I
win
have
before.
circles them before. Yes.
Yeah. This is the very definition of right now, right here, ready to do the thing, right?
Okay. Well, I failed because I can't win. At
You got a
anything.
2. So yeah, you could spend 2 to reroll one of those successes and hope that it's a 6.
doesn't matter.
And then-
No.
no, but you couldn't because
No,
yeah, you can't open it.
I
You don't have any
can't.
6s.
No.
Okay. So what I think I gotta figure out how like depressing I want to go with this. So you're hesitating. You're like, please no. And she like grabs you by the shoulder and like holds her sword back. You hear a door open, and she looks up, and we see Soren step out, and he's holding like a goblet of wine. And he steps out into the room. I'm invoking. I'm not doing the he doesn't show up. I'm invoking the he shows up and he looks and he sees Joy and he sees the mister and he like raises an eyebrow. And then he just turns around and goes back in the room and closes the door. And the minister stabs you in the chest.
Okay.
It hurts real bad. So what she wants to do is kill you with her sword.
Yeah.
Even if she succeeds, you can spend that persona and we can go through what happens there. But you very definitely see it, Joy. Like you turn, you see Sora, and he's just like, Grandpa Simpson's just right
I'm
back
just
there.
imagining this like Death Note scene of like the doors closing after he sees that like he's
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah, and
imagining.
he's just like, huh, looks like your bullshit caught up with you, Joy. Bye. Yeah, and so we'll see how that plays out later. Because this will not kill you. You've got that persona. This is why we hang on to a persona point. Okay.
I mean, do I want to live through it though? Let's be honest.
So she's gonna make a sword test. If she succeeds, she deals you a mortal wound. If she fails, I think she just hurts you. You just take like a mark, or you can pretend to pass out or do whatever. I'm gonna say ob 2 because you're still in the middle of your freaking out from the steel test. So let's roll swords. Ob 2. And there it is. So, so she looks at you like, you fucking nobody, how dare you? And like stabs you with a sword. You feel it hit you. There's a brief flash of pain, and then you feel it hit the stone behind you. And then you feel her draw it out. And then you get really lightheaded and things get blurry, and you see her from like the waist down. You see her trousers get a squirt of blood on them. And then you see the ceiling for a second, and then everything goes dark.
Flop.
Yeah. So the way that this works, you take what would normally be a mortal wound, and then you can decide. You don't have to decide right this second. You can decide whether your character has the will to live. So the way that works, you can spend a persona point, and then we together, and we can do this between episodes if that's something you want to do. We can figure out like what is the terrible thing that happens instead of you dying. Where do you end
No,
up?
it's cool. I'll live. I mean, it's too late in the game to be rolling up a new character at this point. Fuck that. I'm not even
right.
gonna do it.
Don't give up.
So-
You just got Persuade 6.
Yeah, Joy's gonna live. I just don't know in what state Joy is gonna live.
You have every reason to live.
But by the way, friends, this was entirely my fault.
It
Chat.
really was.
I 100% accent was just
It
like,
was
I haven't
so ex-
violenced anyone.
It
in
was
this
so
game.
close, though.
I know, we so close to just like nailed it.
It's like every game of like
It's my birthday tomorrow. Joy gets butchered. It's
like every
fine.
game of like Stellaris or a game like that where you're like, nothing interesting has happened in a while. I'm just gonna attack my neighbor, and then they just wipe you out. And you're like,
I've
oh,
done that. Oh,
Yeah.
damn it!
I mean, let's be honest. It's in character
It
for
totally
me.
is.
As a
Oh yeah,
person.
you're gonna get buried with rewards. But let's see, is it called Will?
Well, I didn't mean for Joy. I meant for me, like
Right,
as
yes.
Elf to violence.
Yeah, she grabs you by the shoulder and hacks off one of your arms.
Oh my god!
And then she puts a pair of aviators on you and pushes you over. Okay, well we'll find these rules later because you know you want to do it. So meanwhile, while Joy is being stabbed and abandoned,
I'm very interested to see what happens.
abandoned by the nobles.
Yeah.
Let's check in with Lodewijk. So Lodewijk, you are arriving at the Black Veil. You took a slight detour to one of your many new businesses, and you have obtained for your bodyguard a new sword, which he is still adjusting to. Right, like we see him walking a little, like kind of like adjusting it. Like, I don't know, it's not the same as my old sword,
Yeah.
but he's getting like comfortable with it. And when you arrive at the door of the Black Veil, he looks at you and he says, "Are you expecting there to be trouble, sir?"
I suppose that's what I'm here to ascertain. I shouldn't imagine so, though.
He nods and he says, "Salacious though this place might be, I always thought it was somewhere safe. The lady of the establishment is a close friend of yours. Though there was that one time that Stygian tried to rob us."
Yes, I wonder what's. to her
Cut
right
to
now.
So he shakes
She
his head.
seemed mentally unwell.
Yeah, he shakes
Slinky.
he shakes his head and he says, as you're going in, he's like, "Well, they can hardly be blamed, being born so far away from proper civilization and everything. Really a shame." As he like opens the door.
You think that's hit? I have to take you back home one of these days. Show you what.
And so the group, the two of you come inside, and there are like servants getting the place ready. And they look up when you come in unbidden. And one of them heads off into the back to like get Ekaterina. And where do you go? Where are you waiting for her? Do you like sidle up to the bar? Do you take a seat? Do you just stand there?
I think I head over to the bar and I try and like signal for someone to get me a drink, even though they're like kind of closed. But
Yeah. Okay.
It was like up. I'm like, come on.
Sure.
So
One of the servants gets some wine out for you and is pouring you a glass. And then you hear Katerina come around the corner and she's like all smiles but like speaking through her teeth. She's like, "Lodewijk, what a pleasant surprise. How are you doing?" She's like, she's walking over to you.
Yes, I think I'm doing relatively well, actually. How's business been?
Well, you know how it is. People in dire straits tend to need reprieve from their stresses. So, well, at least for now.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. Truth. What's truth say?
So she says, "Truth tells me you've been busy."
Yes. I hope he's made you aware that I put in some extra work to sweeten the agreement that he brought to me.
She says, he mentioned something about weapons. I've been busy. I haven't been able to keep up. But he's treating you well. The men I sent, they're keeping your house safe. I'm sorry we haven't been able to free your sister yet. It's just And she like looks at Oberyn, like kind of apologetically, like I don't mean to talk about your fuck ups in public, but
No, I understand that these things take time.
it's in their best
Yes.
interest to keep her alive and safe. The fact that we haven't heard anything yet, it's a good sign. I know it doesn't feel like it, but they still want what they want. They want money from you. And we're going to have to do something about that soon, but I understand you have that under control. And the truth is going to make sure that she gets returned to you safely.
Yes, we have devised. At least I think they were plans. I don't know the specifics, but yes.
How much do you know about truth, Lodwick?
For him to be someone that you trust so well, presumably incredibly loyal, seems
Trust.
capable.
Trust isn't the word I think I would use, but we have a mutual respect, he and I.
Interesting. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about that? I've been feeling the sting of the distinction between an employee and a loyal servant recently.
You can't have come here to talk to me about my servants. And what she really means is like, I don't have time for that kind of conversation. Like, what are you actually doing here?
No,
Unless you want to persuade her to like relax and hang out with you.
Yeah, I do actually.
Because you're pretty much like her boy toy, right? So if you're just like bat your eyelashes at her and be like, oh, don't you want to relax? Your buddy Lodwick.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll persuade you. Bum, 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 bum.
If you succeed, then she lets her guard down a little bit and will like sit and talk with you for a bit. If you fail, she doesn't have time for your bullshit, and you have to get to the point, or she'll be like, okay, Lodwick, drink the wine, hang out. I don't care, but I gotta go.
Okay.
So her will is 4.
All right. She's either a supplier or a merchant. I'm not sure which
She's
of
a
those
merchant.
two.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, probably only one of those applies. Don't fuck both of them. I think that's it. No.
Yeah, that's only 2 successes and no. So you start to give her the like, oh, can't you stay and have a glass of wine? And she says, Lodwick, you can have as much wine as you want, but I have a business to run, and not all of us are as rich as you are.
Yes. Of course. I'm sure you do. I suppose that's what I am really here about, after all. And please don't take this the wrong way, but for ostensibly a single establishment and the caring of its patrons, you are incredibly busy.
Yes. Well, I have interests in the city that need tending to. This bar isn't my only business. You have to know that. And she gives you this look like, come on, like, don't be dumb.
No, you're right. Now that we're working so closely together, I wanted to speak a little bit about what those interests are. I felt it would be prudent to both open up a little.
Oh, Lodwick, since when was prudence a part of this relationship? You keep your secrets and I keep mine. Maybe we've been working too closely together. And her body language is like changing. She's like folded her arms over her chest. She's a little bit closed off. She's leaning away from you.
I suppose that the recent changes in my strategies has made its way back to you, and Well, let me see here. Let me look at this trait list. Oh, yes. I need to know how much I can trust you if things are getting political. And I am afraid that they are for me.
When have I ever let you believe that you can trust me, Ludovic? She grins, and the grin is like, am I kidding? Am I not kidding? I don't know. I'm fucking with you. And she says, I have my interests, and you have yours, and so far they haven't intersected in any unpleasant ways. I like having you around. You're cute, and you have money, and I like being around money. You're useful to me occasionally, and I can be useful to you as well. I know people that you don't. This has been a good relationship, Ludovic. Why complicate it with trust? Why pretend that that's what matters? Hmm?
No. Perhaps you're right. It's just this recent outlier has made me consider these sorts of things that I've never bothered with before.
I've done everything I can to keep you safe, Ludovic. I don't want you to be hurt. We're going to get your sister back. I know that these are hard times for you, that you're feeling confused, out of your element. I'll take care of you. Stop worrying so much. Stay here, have a glass of wine, get one for your manservant, and relax. We'll have customers soon. There'll be music. And she smiles. She says, I promise everything's going to be just fine.
Perhaps in this dealing, but there is more after my sister.
Then let's worry about that tomorrow. One burden at a time. Hmm?
And I kind of like look at her a little bit askance at that. I'm like, I thought you knew me to be a better businessman than to take stock in that kind of platitude. No, we must look ahead. Else we have we run the risk of someone else taking opportunities from us before we get a chance to get round to them.
So she takes in like a slightly more aggressive step towards you. And she says, careful now, Ludovic. You know your world and I know mine. And every step you take into the water is one that you risk drowning. Let me take care of you. And she's basically just being like, fucking drop it. Like, you're out of your element, Donnie. She wants you to like just let her handle it and stop questioning her. And she's basically just trying to put you in your place. So I think she's gonna roll something there.
Yeah, reasonable. Totally reasonable.
Yeah, like persuade with a little bit of intimidation sauce on it. I don't know what her skills are, but she's just like, she is trying to do it. She's patronizing you now, right? Where she's just like, you don't know what you're doing. I'm the underworld queen. You have money, sure, but like, don't let it make you think that you're like Don Lodovic, right? Like, you're not cut out for this shit. Sure. So I think if she succeeds, do you think she like it works for now? Like you tell me what you think the succeed and fail are here.
Yeah, I think succeed is she placates me for now. What she's saying makes sense. I want to believe it. I don't want to mistrust her.
Right.
But I don't think it's got any chance. I don't think there's any way that she can persuade me permanently to like let her handle it. I think he's becoming too paranoid. I don't think that's on the table.
Okay.
But
what about a duel of wits?
I don't think it's a full duel of wits. I think there's this on the table, and either way this roll goes, I think I resolve the belief.
Yeah.
The fail here, I think, is he admits some things he shouldn't admit and breaks down a little. I think I have an idea. He's just gonna like get emotional and be difficult.
And what's your will?
My will is 5.
Okay. All right. So 5. Let's see how we do. She got a 2, one of which is a success, so I might as well re-roll it. Okay. So she does not persuade you to like let it go. So what do you do?
Yeah, I finished the glass. She says, and he says, I am already part of this world. There is a man, a stupid man, who spoke against me, and for that, I ordered him killed. Not with those words, but he's dead now, to be made an example of. I make cutthroat deals, but this is ridiculous. I never expected this. I was just trying to protect the people that I cared about. And to do that, I need to surround myself with people who I can, even if not trust, buy the complete loyalty of, lest they betray me later on, like this man. I don't wish to have all these people murdered on my behalf.
Are you done? These kinds of things are precisely why I say you're not cut out for this, Ludovic. Some choices that we have to make in life leave us questioning. This is why we have religion. This is why we have wine. So we don't have to think about these things. This is the world I'm trying to protect you from. You have to make a decision. Either become comfortable with dealing with the final commodity, or find something safer to do. This is a dangerous place, and it only becomes more dangerous every day. Only people with the will to live belong here. And if you can't exercise that will, it would break my heart to see anything bad happen to you. And if that means you have to leave Carpathia, and then we don't get to see each other anymore, well. But if you do want to stay, you need to harden your heart. Because it's not going to get easier. Not from here.
With what I've done, with these deals that I've made, least of all the weapons and what they will do to the people that they're aimed at. With trying to save my sister, innocent people, nothing to do with me.
She laughs. She laughs when you say that. You say innocent people, and she just like sneers. It's like, there's no such thing, Ludovic. Not here.
Then those unrelated to the meta at hand, I suppose, are dying because of me. Their grain, I bought, I sold, I moved numbers around, and now...
She shakes her head and she says, I know that this is hurting you, Ludovic, but God's dead, we're in hell. You can either be a devil or a prisoner. You've got to make that decision. And I think she slaps you on the back and is like, cool, I'm going to leave you with your wine and with trying to figure that shit out because I made my call a long time ago.
Yeah, and he can't work out what to say in time to stop her from leaving.
Yeah, and so you sit there, and Oberyn has been listening to the whole thing, and we just see Oberyn like glaring at the floor because he heard that whole thing too, and you can see him like thinking it over.
Yeah, like he doesn't know that about the dude. We've like kept that all from him.
Well,
the
look on Oberyn's face isn't like, oh no, Ludovic did a bad thing. It's like, I have to be like she may not have persuaded you, but she's done some work on him, and he's just like, I have to harden my heart against, doing bad things. Like if Lodovick is surrounding himself with bad men, I must become a bad man too. But maybe Lodovick doesn't notice that. Maybe he does. Maybe you're dealing with it yourself too. But I think that moment of the two of you, and it changes the relationship between them, right? Like you can see him be like, maybe she's right. Maybe Lodovick can't handle the shit. So he's processing. Awesome. Meanwhile, back in the basement of the choir, Agatha, you have successfully stolen away the name of Nikolai Corvidae. What are you gonna do with it?
I need to put it on Serica.
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to be a two-parter?
I think you need to find a way to lure her in, and then you just jam it down her metaphorical throat. But I think now that you have the it's not his soul exactly, but like now that you have that, it's good bait for a trap.
Yeah, so I can't circles her up, right? Like my means of finding her are pretty limited.
Yeah, you can use magic to find her.
Or spirit binding. Can spirits see her?
Yeah, the spirits can try to find her.
So now that we have some more time and things are chill,
yeah, exactly. Now
urgency is done.
Robillard is 100% like, I'm gonna go live at House Corvidae now. Bye.
And so Agatha is going to like take the time she needs to cercinate up a circle of binding not binding. I guess binding. Yeah. Anyways, I'm doing spirit binding.
Yeah.
I'm doing the cercination for it.
I opened right to the exact page. Okay, so it's a service, and it's like bring them to me, right? Bring her to me.
Yeah.
So I think they physically just like go in and like nudge her down the right hall and like bring her to your door.
And I guess this would again be spirits of shadow. I'm trying to think of which ones would be best.
Yeah. So just mechanically to let you know, because you've already kind of like, you're going to do the thing. The number of strength points you give the spirit is how many dice I'll roll to like nudge her down the hall to you. But she's pretty weak, so I think it'll probably just be like an ob2 roll. So you're going to cast this to build the pool to make an ob2 roll to have the spirits bring her to you.
So we're starting with the cercination. I'm going to do it at ob3. I'm going to fork symbology and spirit wise. And this is just to make the circle to help me do the thing.
Yep.
So ob3, so it's going to give me 3 bonus dice. Hey, no problem. So this is Agatha in that same room. She's like moved all the furniture out of the way and is like drawing in chalk on the dungeon floors, basement floors. But you know, it's very dungeony. And then now we're going to do this spirit binding, specifically spirits of shadow, to go track her down because she's skulking and hiding. Is my thinking.
Yeah, totally.
And so let's see. I got bonus of 3, and we're doing a spirit of strength 4, I think, for this.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's the only sensible way to do it, because we're doing an ob2 nudging of her down the line.
Yeah, it'll be an ob2. Yep.
Okay. Fork in paths wise for this one, because it's about
correcting a path. Totally. Yeah.
And the cercination is all like spiraling and like labyrinthian.
Vortex wise, yeah.
Yeah, it's all about like pulling things into this place. And so my ob is 5 here, I guess, because we're still on consecrated ground.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
That's a big roll.
Hey,
and the spirits you don't accumulate anymore.
Oh my god, how many 6s did you just get though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I rolled a total of 9 dice initially and got
I
9.
wish I could roll sixes like that.
Well, what you got to do is roll 9 dice and roll spirit binding.
If I rolled 9 dice, I would get 0 successes.
Probably, actually.
You have that innate talent, Elf, and we love you for it.
Okay, so the spirits, they work your will, and they seek out, and this is like, she'll be like wandering the halls, and she'll go to open a door, and the door will shut, so she'll like turn another direction, and then like someone will cross her path, and she'll turn away from them, and like they're gently,
It's all the subtle stuff.
subtly guiding her to you.
Or like in certain rooms will be darker, or certain regions will be darker, and
Okay. So do you want to roll that roll?
Yes, on behalf of the spirit, I'm rolling 4 dice.
4 dice against Ob 2. And you can, I think in this case, you can use your own fate if you want to on this. Failure. Failure means that she realizes what's happening and comes before you pissed. So I think that you're like calling to the spirits, you're channeling the spell to like draw her to you, and the door snaps open. And we see, dressed in the like tattered dress that she was last wearing. She's been wearing the same thing for however long she's been missing from reality. This is like tattered dress. Her hair is all like long in front of her face and tangled. She's got a very like Japanese ghost thing going on. The door slams open and you see this nameless creature. And I'm sure there's a name in your language for like little girls that never got a name who like fled into the woods. She's like becoming one of those. And you just hear this low hiss of someone who is forgetting language, like come from her throat.
I think the mythology behind people like this is that they like scratch at windows and try to eat children, like they're one of those kind of.
Yeah, and so we see her hands like opening and closing at her sides.
Yeah. And so Agatha is just like seated in the middle of this circle, and had been chanting.
So she says to you in a voice both her own and the voice of no one, right? Like this is no one's voice. She says, "Witch, your shadows call." And she like takes a step into the room.
Yeah, and Agatha like squints. Nameless things are not of this world and do not remain in it long. My shadows bring you here so that I can fix you.
You would bind me with chains. Flap another step into the room.
Yeah. Already trapped on the outside of everything. I offer you a chance back in. It's a little warmer here.
She just like snarls at you.
Do I need to persuade her, Adam?
Yeah, I think so.
Or can I just fucking?
I think you have to like
zap her with a name.
No, so you know what? You can just zap her. You can zap her with a name, but we'll basically like enmity clause. We'll make the zapping a little more difficult because she'll resist you rather than just being like sucker punched.
If I want to do it over a period of a long time,
it's gonna be very hard. Now you could name her. You could name her for a session and then be like, "Fuck, I gotta find another spell to like lock it in later."
No. I want to get her. I feel like what I'm already trying to do is convince her that this is the right way of things.
So she's, I imagine there's like a physical manifestation of Nekulai's soul, or is his name, right? Is it like a folded piece of paper? Is it?
It's his shoe.
Well, his shoe is an object he dropped, which could be, you could have it as part of the thing. But like I want to know what, like someone's name, the physical thing, the thing you would use to like,
there's like a traditional thing. I think conveniently, it is inside of a crow skull from a certain person who was taking care of Nicola.
And a crow skull etched with runes.
Yeah, with like little tiny, like.
I like that the skull probably has like fox like bite mark on one side.
Yeah, it's like a little bit scuffed up, and there's like a bunch of like feathers and other stuff on this little like trinket thing that she's made, with like twine and feathers and the skull mounted in the center of it, and it kind of like the feathers like rustle in a wind that isn't there. You know, like it's one of those things.
Mhm.
Because it's probably doing some like lawbreakery stuff
Yeah.
around this too, because it's not supposed to be like this.
Okay. So let's see if you can tempt her. So she looks at it when she sees it.
Yeah, and so this is Agatha like reveals the thing and just
Yeah.
places it in the middle of the circle.
And
just-
her head tips back slightly, and we see a combination of like revulsion and hunger. Like she wants the thing that she doesn't want, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm persuading. I'm
So you
rolling.
don't actually have to persuade. You can just do it. You can just do the spell.
Oh, she'll stick around?
Yeah, it just the spell is slightly harder because you failed the earlier.
Right. Okay, that's how we're running it. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take a while because this is difficult. It's very difficult.
It is.
Because if we're doing it for campaign, that's +4.
It is. Yep.
+5, 6 total with the whatever Robillard has done. And yeah, so to give her the trait named for the rest of the campaign is 7
Okay.
total.
Yes.
So notably, casting the spell this one last time, this is the one that makes it permanently part of
solidifies it.
being. Yeah, this is the
Cool.
one. So let me think about my pool here. So I can do up to my will in slowness, doubling the time it takes every time. So 2, then 4, then 8, then 16 times. So it's just going to take like
Almost
an
20
hour.
minutes. Or yeah, an hour, right? Because it goes up.
Because it just keeps going up. But I'm going to get 5 bonus dice from that because I'm just not playing with the spell, Adam. We're going to make the spell work. So 5 from that, 1 from symbology, 1 from. I don't think any of my wises actually apply to this. So just symbology. 5 dice from that. We'll do astrology later. So it's 6 dice plus it being named as 7.
Yeah, and I think because there's folks asking in chat. I think the reason she sticks around is because she is like tempted by the name. If you were just trying to slap a name on somebody that you didn't have one already, that it wouldn't work. She'd just run off. But
I'm also imagining maybe that behind her, Sufferance like closes the door.
Sufferance is not her. So did you succeed at that roll to make Sufferance stick around?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she just like.
So Sufferance is not. She's
Close
not
the door.
helping. She's just standing at the back of the room, staring in horror. She failed a steal test as soon as the thing came in.
Okay, great. That's fine too then. But yeah, so I've got all these bonus dice. What is my penalty going to be from her?
That's right.
Because right now we're at 7.
Okay. The ob penalty is the same as like I think. What is it for enmity? Is it 3?
2, I think, for
Is it
enmity.
2? Okay, let's just call it 2. It's a hinder effect of 2.
It's 2. That's what Emilio had.
Yeah.
He was
Okay, so it's 2. Yeah, ob penalty.
Okay,
is 2.
so it's an ob 9 sorcery test here. Base 5, I'm rolling 12 dice against 9.
Yeah, to have a 50-50 chance, what you need
Okay.
like.
Let's go all the way up to my full will exponent of extra time to get me 1 extra die.
Okay.
So I have 6 for a reason. This is the like me frantically gathering bonus dice as hard as I can. Because
Corruption?
spell obstacle or the sorcery skill exponent. Sorry, so my maximum is 5, so I can't go up to 8.
Corruption?
I don't think it is.
I don't think this is a
No,
corruption.
this is like very much not corruption. This is the thing you do, right?
Yeah, so fuck it. We're just going in. We're going in.
It's mechanically desperate, but not narratively desperate.
I have the astrology die, so I'm actually rolling 1 more.
Yeah.
And I don't think I want to spend a persona on this because I'll need that for when it goes bad and it tries to kill me. So here we go. 6 out of 9. I will get my. Let's see if my astrology die does something. Nope.
So your options are
Rough.
you can reroll 1 failed die for a fate point,
Yeah.
or for 3
But it
fate
doesn't
points.
explode,
Or
so
for-
I'm never going to get to 9.
Yeah, you can't actually get to 9. Yep.
So I will stay. Check. What was the poker term? The one where I tap the table. I'm just like,
Check.
okay.
All right. So,
I mean, I rolled 11 successes the last time I cast the spell, but only 9 on this one. Or 6 on this one. Jesus.
Okay. So I think part of the ritual is that in the end, like you like it's sort of like a bit of a dance where you have to like lure her closer, like you're feeding a wild animal, right? You have to like get her to like
bring her in so that she'll eat
and
the
then
thing.
and then she snatches up the skull and jams it in her mouth and like crunches it, and like the beak pierces through her cheek and like blood starts pouring because she's chewing on like raw bone. It's like blood is pouring out of her mouth, and she's like scooping the pieces of it back in as they fall out of her mouth, and Sufferance is just like fucking sheet white in the back of the room, like, what's happening? And then she looks up at you and like blinks, and her eyes go from this like sick kind of yellow thing. She blinks and looks at you, and you see the pale blue of her normal eyes, and she tries to say something through her like mouth full of blood and torn flesh, and then she coughs and falls forward and starts to smoke, like her body starts smoking, and then she catches fire, just bursts into flames. And she starts screaming, and she's like laying on there and kicking, and she's on fire, and she's just like burning up from the inside.
Oh.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
that's good.
Yeah. What do you do? Like, do you recoil? Actually, I mean, you make a steel test first. First of all.
Okay, cool. Let's roll steel. Just standard steel.
It's steel against ob. It's the bonus of like a magical effect or whatever. I think it's one additional hesitation.
Seems like it might be 2.
It might be
This is
2.
pretty-
Someone dying.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 2. Let's just call it 2.
Plus 2 ob.
Yeah.
All right, so a total of. So my hesitation plus 2 is 6.
Good thing you didn't see it happen.
So I hesitate for 3.
So what do you do for 3 actions?
Terribly. I mean, I'll stand and drill. I think she just can't see it. She smells smoke.
Yeah, and here's screaming.
Doesn't understand why, and there's like this weird uncanny quality
And you
to
feel
it.
the sudden heat, right, of the fire.
And no vision of it, so it's like weird, and it's close, but not so close that she's like catching fire herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this whole thing.
Okay, and I think that's probably the last, that's like the last scene, right? It's like you and this like burning, not even smoldering, like bonfire corpse in front of you, and just like the corpse fire illuminating your blind eyes, and in the background, Sufferance just staring on, like horrified.
Why'd I have to fail that roll?
Right?
Yeah.
Well, look, that's why you have a backup member of your coven.
3 in a coven.
That's right. You can get another one. It's fine. There's the,
I'm sure recruitment will go real smooth.
the
after
nun, the
this.
witch, and the queen, right? You just go after Alessandra.
But then I have to be the
No,
crone. I don't want to be the
You're
crone.
the crone.
I'm always
because
the
maiden
crone. Ah,
mother
guys.
is the crone.
Oh, I don't want to be the crone, but you have the
You
crone
always-
outfit.
You're the
yeah.
crone. Come on.
Yeah. Wow, that was deadless. So much happened. So much shit happened. Holy
That
fuck.
episode.
That was a big one. Let's replenish those Fate and Persona supplies, shall we?
Whoa.
Let's begin with Joy here.
right.
Joy.
So Joy, let's review before we do, because we've got lots of time. I gave us a little extra time to talk about kind of like what's to come. So I wrote down the rules for this thing that you can choose to do.
Yeah.
So 67. There we go. Okay, so the way that works, there is will to live, or persona point complications. So if you have been, oh, I see. Okay. So the two things that could apply here, the one we're using, I think, is will to live. So if you've been struck down with a mortal wound, you spend a persona point in order to earn the will to live. You decide whether or not you want to continue on with the character. If you don't spend the persona point, you're dead. If you do, you're allowed to make tests and get tended to and do all of that. The other option, and they cross over, so you can pick whichever one you want. The other one is if you fail a test and have gotten yourself into deep trouble, killed, captured, or whatever, you can spend a persona point to redirect the narrative from certain death into a further complication. As a rule, the player can choose their new fate. It's got to be bad or costly, though. Otherwise, the GM can simply declare, no, you have to will to live instead. So I imagine you get stabbed, and then servants throw your body in the garbage
through the chest. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like you're dead. Joy finally pissed off the wrong person. The king is not around to say anything about it, and they like throw you in the river or whatever. This is your Rasputin moment. Now you can spend the persona to not die, right? To be like, you drift downriver and get found by someone who resuscitates you, and maybe it's the church, maybe it's saltpeter.
Oh my god, I want Joy to be Frankenstein's monster.
I'm putting a hand up here also because I always think of this rule as being in terms of like you die, but the complications thing.
I have this like narrative in my head that is like she dies and then someone does something about her being dead. You know what I mean? Or then I have
Okay, well let's
I have this idea for like surviving.
Let's not decide now. But basically what we know is that Joy's body gets disposed of, but she's not so easy to kill. And so you're going to spend that persona point, and you can think about what you want for next time.
I think the person using this rule, Adam, is going to be me. To prevent Serica from bursting into flames. Actually.
Yeah, so you can't. I don't think you can prevent her from bursting into flames, but you can spend persona to have something else happen as a result. Like this could all be an illusion, or like a horrible vision, or like her burnt corpse splits open and something else emerges. Like
that there be some, like, it's not a complete loss.
Totally.
From like total abject failure.
Exactly. Like it's absolutely in my right to say like she burns up, but then you can put that persona point forward and be like, but what if instead?
Yeah, and so I would love to have take this moment to have that conversation.
Okay, so Joy, you're gonna live, and we'll figure that out. Agatha, you want to use the persona point complication to avoid certain death for your plans.
So
this feels like the rule made in case John Harper is GMing your game.
No, that is
just be like, hold on.
Yeah, this is the rule to say, you know what? I deserve what bad thing is about to happen to me, but I'm going to pay you to stop making that happen. I'm going to use up my currency.
Buy you out of this horrible...
Yeah, so, I mean, it was a series of failures, right? The shadow spirits failed to, like, bring her to you in a way that made it easy.
It was two failed rolls. The shadow spirits and then
your magic couldn't bind the name to her. You couldn't make a new name for her. And so I was like, that's the end of the line for Serica, right? Like Serica, the ritual goes wrong, her body burns up, and you are robbed of your apprentice. Now this is above and beyond the other thing when you failed the last time to turn the girl. Turn her into
a compounding of.
So that I still have in my pocket, so that later if I pull that out, that's a thing. But for this specifically, did you already have an idea of how to like complicate that instead?
Twofold thoughts. One, Serica is alive, but but retains being a lawbreaker, or like she gets a name. She's a person again, but still has a lawbreaker or something like that. So she's still this weird, messed up thing that we now have to like keep hidden in the basement.
Let's make that. We'll make it bigger. Because it's not enough to just do it to her. It has to be you, her, and Sufferance.
Yeah, and that there's some mark that the three of us share.
Yeah,
as
all
like
three of you are
cool.
cursed by this bad shit you did.
I mean, like, I'll take Lawbreaker like that. I was also willing to put myself on the line for Serica. Like if I need to make some kind of sacrifice for her, I was keen to do that anyways.
I think the other suggestion I was going to make is that you can have a coven or you can have a familiar, right? So that'd be a trade that I would be willing to make.
I like the idea of the coven taking this on, because then there's a nice subsequent arc where we need to resolve that or do something with that. And I like that entraps both of them within it.
Yeah,
in a
I mean,
really
I think
problematic way. I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah, and I think also like she is like horribly burned too.
And yeah, like the burning thing remains, but she's just like somehow still alive.
Yeah, terrible burn victim, but it retains her life. And all three of you are bound by this breaking of celestial law. That seems fair. Okay.
Which is great because we're all in an angel cult together.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, well, I'll spend this persona point. That sounds,
Cool. Yeah,
sounds
that
like
sounds
a
good.
great deal.
Okay. So let's revivify the supplies. So so Joy, you tried to get close to Alessandra, and then Alessandra was like, "No, I'm gonna go be the queen." So you get fate for that.
Cool.
You tried to get more information on the minister's plan
for Katarina.
Yep. So you tried that one. That's good.
I also tried to keep Emilio out of danger of himself.
But that one you succeeded though, right?
Yeah, I thought you did that.
Yeah. That one is a success because he's like,
okay, all right, cool.
He will resist. He will replace his need for the Black Lotus with being like, no, Joy is just going to give me shit and be a dick to me again.
Yeah,
I better not.
His belief. So.
Oh, if Emilio finds out that you're dead, he's going to lose his fucking shit.
So that's a persona for that one then.
Yep.
And then my instinct of like to speak for religion, speaking about religion,
that totally fucked you over. You found a perfect opportunity to be like, never mind.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, keeping a knife where no one can see it also was a problem this time.
Was a problem.
If you didn't have one, you couldn't have used it.
I couldn't have used it. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's kind of it.
Really complicated shit, but it didn't really lead the story in a different direction.
No.
Which is the award one for doing something in character that was just fucking ridiculous.
Yes, yeah, there is a persona award for embodiment.
Yeah. Embodiment is when the player captures the mood of the table perfectly and further drives the story onward. And I feel like that second clause, given that this was kind of a non sequitur, doesn't fit.
Yeah. Well, let's see. So you get persona for having a relied on skill, driving an arc to its conclusion.
Like beyond the bounds of a character. No, that was pretty like
moments like great speeches, desperate decisions, or gruesome revenge fall into embodiment.
Desperate decisions was definitely
like I feel like this was a breaking point for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
her,
it was
right?
the bootlicker trait playing.
Like, I'll lick no more boots for you, madam. Yeah, this was the first time where you were like, you can't treat me like that. I have a knife. I think it's reasonable.
Yeah, I would say so.
Cool.
To give that one out.
Okay.
All right, cool. So net gain of two persona there.
Cool.
Or net gain of one, I guess, because you spend the one at the end. Okay. Agatha.
Hi.
Agatha. Okay, so I mean, you resolved your third belief.
This is resolved.
Yeah, you blew it. You got your goal. You get your fucked up coven. It didn't go the way you wanted it to, but you paid the price, so you can take that persona back. Let's see.
I think also my first instinct did a good twisty bit of no sufferance.
Oh
You
yeah,
have to
that
stick
was
around and watch.
that has-
so you
I
learn
promise-
this horrible lesson.
I promise that has absolutely fucked her up. Sufferance is
Just
fucked
like
up
her
because
not
you
seeing
wouldn't let
that
her
would have
live.
been yeah.
Yeah, I would have let her cop out, right? Where you're like, no, you kidnapped this kid. Now you got to see what we do with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so give you fate for that. And
And
you were very like your stuff, all your traits were very much like about being the scary witch.
yeah.
Yeah, and
But
think they got you in trouble.
I don't think it.
It'll
yeah.
be later when you have to try to hide who you are, and then you don't.
Yeah, and we'll figure out in between sessions what that dark bargain that we have sealed.
Yeah. We'll figure out what the
Three.
nature of your law breaking is.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of thing that might alienate you from the church, right? Like, unless you spin it the right way. But Roblard's not even around, so it's fine. It might also help you seize the church for yourself. We'll get there. Okay. Lady Alessandra Corvide.
Lady Regent, excuse me.
Whoa. Technically true. Okay, so you get you get some fate for I have neglected Neculi for too long. You tried.
I did
to subvert Rez's influence. The king is sick and the kingdom needs leadership. Yeah, you get Persona. Robillard did exactly what he promised he would do, and now you're in charge.
I'm in charge. I'm leading. Now we just gotta like cement this bullshit. Okay, and then I haven't confronted Agatha. That will be interesting. Now I don't even know if I want to, because Robillard was like, just
yeah.
And I don't think that Ambitious definitely like made some headway, but I don't think that I led the story in a different direction. That's the same direction as per usual.
I mean, you prioritized you tried to do the thing with your kid, but then you were like, no, I have to go and do the court thing. You could have stayed and like fought. Like I think Ambitious.
I also acted against Independent probably more than I have since the start, when I was very deferential to Robillard there.
Yeah, it won't earn you anything, but it's certainly
changing.
It's certainly like a thing that I will bring up when we do the trade vote about voting off.
Yeah.
But I think another fate for Ambitious makes sense.
Okay.
Because I expected you to fight a little harder to keep your kid, and then you were like, you know what, take him. Fuck this, I'm out.
No, I have important things to be doing right now, like becoming the Lady Regent.
Okay, so Lodovic.
Yeah.
I think you resolved. I think you can't trust. Katerina told you herself you can't trust me.
Yep.
Or like shouldn't. Not that you can't. You can if you want, but don't. You don't have my permission. Okay. Anything else for beliefs?
No.
Okay.
Well, no.
Okay.
I said a lot of stuff, but I didn't really make rolls of them. So.
Yeah, and then so your instincts, I think we're on track. Yeah.
On trait. On trait.
Yeah, definitely trait. So which I saw you playing some of them, but I want to hear what you think.
I was forward, and I was idealistic, I think.
Yeah, I think both of those made. I think both of those made her treat you like differently. She was like, "Oh, you poor dummy," because you're being so idealistic, and like you weren't listening to her and like taking her advice the way you normally would. And I do think that colored how I played her against you. So yeah, totally.
Cool.
Ba-doop. Cool, everybody. So obviously, think about your belief situation. What do we think of the new 2 fate to reroll a failed die thing? How do we feel about that?
I mean, did you see the
used
fate that got burned?
I know. Look at all the fate that went away and then came back. It certainly worked to spend it. I don't think it skewed you didn't suddenly succeed a ton. Everybody failed all over the place. I think it's a nice additional option. It interacts with corruption in a weird way, because it actually sort of devalues corruption a little bit.
It also, I think the thing for already open-ended skills, it also, like, there's a little bit of fitting it into the economics of that, where maybe it needs to work a bit differently for skills that are already open-ended because they already have that rule.
Okay.
Changing how it applies to them, maybe, like, I don't know what exactly that could be, but maybe having it, like, just cost 1 and be able to do it twice for already open-ended skills.
I'll ask if Luke and them had thoughts about interacting with open-ended.
Yeah, because maybe that was just a facet they didn't consider.
What kind of corruption test is it for dying? How many corruption does that get?
You don't get corrupted by dying.
What would get you the corruption is trying to murder someone.
Yeah,
So
you get corruption.
I already applied that.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm going to get a couple tests this session.
The reason that this is quite nice, and it's the 1 die for 2 fate, is it doesn't give you a negative consequence in the same way as tapping corruption.
That's very true.
Whenever
that's a good point,
you tap
Dave.
corruption, you get a test of the same level as the one that you did.
Yeah, that's
corruption
very,
goes up
That's very
And
true.
for some of you, apparently that's a bad thing.
Listen, some
Listen,
of us.
I got screwed out of any kind of good corruption thing last time, and I'm done with it. I'm gonna do as much as possible.
So it's,
Fair.
yeah, that's worth a fate point, I guess, to avoid that.
So Adam, my corruption goes up
Oh,
Let's see what you get.
Roll.
after this session. Yeah.
awesome.
No, do it now. I want to see it
Yeah, I
now.
want to see what it is.
Is this one of the good ones or the bad ones?
They're not good and bad.
The last one I
Yes,
got-
they are.
The last one I got was Wolverine, I think.
So it's a bad one this time.
So it's on the initial table.
Oh
I could
yeah.
get blind again, and that would be.
No, you can't because you can't get the same thing
Super
twice. That's
You
what
would
happened to
just-
me.
If you
Well,
get,
that's
but
what
if you
I'm
get,
saying, is
but if
if
you
I
get
land
blind
on-
again, you don't roll, right? It's just
I
that's
don't
it.
roll again. I just.
Which
Yeah.
could be okay.
Just don't get anything.
It would be nice.
Yeah.
So I
What are the
roll
options? What could you possibly get?
1d6 and add my
Okay,
existing.
so while you're getting that ready, Exelius asked in chat, how does the fate testing thing work with shade shifting? It's every point you spend on a skill. Luke actually pointed this out to me in the Slack when we were talking about it. He said, does this advance shade shifting too quickly? And I was like, fate is not the gatekeeper on that. It's the
It's
deeds point.
deeds.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not worried. These are
Yeah,
routine
not
tests.
at all.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even like count the fate towards the things. Whoopsie daisy.
So I got a 1, which is lame. So I'm lame now.
Okay. All right. Your body is
Welcome to the
twisted by
club.
the dark magics.
Yeah.
Lame club. Yay.
Okay, cool.
Elf is lame a die trait.
Lame is not a die trait. It just removes 1 from your stride.
I think anything that mechanically affects
Oh,
your character
okay, well, it's a
is
die trait.
considered a die trait. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you have a page ref for it?
I don't, like, off the bat.
I think it's just in the core book. Yeah.
I'll track it down.
It's in the core book, though, yeah.
What's your corruption at now?
My corruption's at 4 now.
Yeah. So
Just advanced to 4.
still only helps with 1 die for now. Cool. Your body being twisted further by dark magic.
More like the crown.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the burning corpse reaches out, grabs onto your leg,
Right.
the muscles and tendons.
Yikes.
That seems fine.
The blind, the burnt, and then we need a name that starts with B for Sister Sufferance. The battle babe.
The belligerent.
Yeah, right. The broken.
Broken.
Uh-huh.
The busted. Yeah.
I mean, she is pretty busted. That's true and fair. Well, good, good,
Into 3000.
good episode, everybody. That one was off the fucking rails.
Fucking hell.
I'm really excited to see what Joy, what you decide, Elf, for your character.
Well, the thing is, I'm not even sure what the fuck I'm gonna do with it. Like, is it up to me? Am
Yeah.
I supposed
No, it's
Oh.
totally up to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was under the impression I was waiting for some direction.
Oh, hell no. No. You tell me. Like, if you want to be Frankenjoy, if you're like, yeah, I think that fucking Saltpeter fishes me out of the thing and gives me poultices to make me like an undead killer, cool. Or you could be like, I wash up near Lodovic's house and Truth finds me in the gutter and like uses Stygian prayer to bring me back to, like, it's totally you. It's up to you.
right,
However
so
you
the
want.
Magus
I
finds
didn't know it was
Oh
up to
yeah,
me.
this is on you.
Now
You get to
now I'm
decide.
like, ooh, okay.
No, Joy's not allowed to have guns for hands. You come back and you're like, it's
But
me,
why
Joy.
Okay, what
I'm
about
20
gun for-
feet tall. Yeah, no Robo Joy. It's not allowed. We don't do
What
it.
about a gun for a leg, Adam?
Yeah.
You wash
That's
up
much more
in the
reasonable.
castle, and Miro saves you.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you figure out what you think would be cool for your character that would make the
No, it's
character.
your boy.
But it's just got to be bad, basically, for you. And you're good
He's
at this.
still-
You're good at doing bad things to your own characters. I trust you.
Actually, he's now only one of 2 people, Miro, who still wanted to treat you as a human being. The other one is addicted to, well, he was addicted to drugs. So, I mean, he's got your
no
best
guns
interest
for no guns for limbs at all. It's off
Yeah,
the
bring
table.
the Magus back. I love the Magus.
Yeah, I mean the Magus. Maybe you go down into the sewers and he's been like lurking around down there. That's a thing. He could use
There's a
his evil
lot
magic
of
to bring
cool
him back.
characters that you could like.
I
type.
know, there's so many good things.
So ponder that
Figure it out.
between sessions, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out next time. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. Thanks for watching, dear audience members and my cast. You did a great job as always. I love playing this game with you. Where can people find you when you are not here getting, I don't know, stabbed by government officials, Elf?
When I'm not being stabbed by government officials, nowhere. But if you want to see me get stabbed by government officials, over on twitch.tv/distractedelf or on Twitter @distractedelf is where you're gonna find me. Tomorrow's my birthday,
Yeah.
so we're doing a stream in the morning that's like all XCOM stuff, going back to the XCOM things that I usually do. And we've just started making a new roster of like sub characters. So come on by if you want to join the Alien Resistance or whatever. And celebrate with me before D&D, obviously.
That sounds awesome.
D&D is a really good way to spend a birthday.
I think so too. Cool. Andrew, the occasionally successful at magic rolls sometimes.
Just don't make me roll so much, and
Okay,
it's
all right.
I can get some.
We played Burning Wheel for 5 hours and nobody rolled because we're bad at Burning Wheel. Where can people find you and the cool shit that you do on the internet?
You can find me doing cool shit on the internet on Twitter @CommutingCrow or on twitch.tv/actualfactual. Right now on my Twitch channel, I have a playtest of my game Girl by Moonlight running. And I am planning on doing a little how to play role-playing games as a player show that I'm just figuring out the initial stuff of, but that will be in the future as well.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's gonna be
stoked.
super cool.
So that's me.
Cool.
That's what I'm about.
Over in this corner, it's the richest man in the kingdom, Dave. Dave, where can people find you doing stuff on the internet?
They can find me at Dave_the_human at Twitter and Dave_human on Twitch. Gonna do some more D&D sign. I should have called it that. Tomorrow before D&D, so come and catch that.
Cool.
No, I'm gonna go and play God of War.
Yeah, do it. Go and yell and smash things. Can I just say, vis-a-vis God of War, if you didn't know, there's a novelization of God of War 3, and it is so bad. It is like Dune novel bad. Like, it's so terrible. So yeah, check that out if you like God of War and you want to ruin it for yourself forever.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you just compare it to
Doom.
No, with an M. The novel for
okay.
Dune.
Oh, God.
Also really bad, as you
Very
can
different.
imagine.
It's like Dune movie.
The Doom guy kicked the door open and then he shot somebody with a shotgun and then he turned left and he shot a different guy with a shotgun and then some other guys came out and he shot them too and then he yelled about stuff.
Now his shotgun is out of bullets, so he uses a different gun.
Yeah. Then he pulled out his chain gun and he shot several guys with it. Yeah.
That's Lodovic.
No. Soon though. And last but not least, the steamiest streamer this side of the internet.
Thank
Also,
you.
I noticed you're wearing a delightful crown. That's
Yeah,
lovely.
because I'm the motherfucking queen.
I mean, Regent.
Close enough.
Let me introduce you to
okay?
my friend Denethor. He has some opinions about how that works. Where can people find you and your steamy streamies?
If you don't understand this reference, it's on my Twitter somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, you can find me being real steamy. Rolls her eyes so far back into her head they detach. On twitch.tv/bluejay or on Twitter at bluejay_712. I have YouTube that I'm actually using now. So check that out. I learned to edit a video. I did 3. I'm really proud of that. So, and I'm not going to burn my son alive. I don't have a son. I have a small dog and she's not going to get burned. It's not gonna
That's
happen.
good. Yes, Blue Jay is a much nicer person than the character that she plays on this and many
You
other shows.
think.
Mostly.
Mostly. Sometimes Alessandra comes out and then we all have to just be like, okay, I can't handle this right now, Blue Jay. Well, thanks for coming, everybody. You can find me in the usual places. I've said this so many times that it's lost meaning to me. So Skinny Ghost, Twitter, twitch.tv, Adam Coble. I do lots of stuff on the internet. Those are the places you can find them. You can find us here tomorrow and on twitch.tv/D&D doing the Dungeons and Dragons thing. We got some Tomb of Annihilation, which I'm super looking forward to. Lots more Omu. So if you are interested, definitely come and check that out. Otherwise, all of the exciting crap that we do for this channel is down below at the YouTube and links to our VODs. So I hope you will check those out. We will see you next time for more. Oh, and also, if you haven't been watching it, there is another Roll20 Presents show. Bronze Girl is running Blades, and it's this is a weird thing to say about Blades in the Dark. It's really funny. It's like actually kind of a funny show. So if you want to see that, Bronze Girl is great and her cast is cool. So go and check that out. All of the schedule will appear as soon as we go offline. So I'm going to do that now. Thanks for coming, everybody. See you next time.